Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Ramblings from Two Meddling Kids. I'm Edward Hunt, this is my friend,
Mike Cunningham,
and we are the Meddling Kids. And today we'll be reviewing The Bad Guys. So, for those of you just joining us, or if you want a quick review, we give you a spoiler-free review from a scale of 0 to 5. We give you a brief plot summary, followed by a play-by-play, kind of like you're watching the movie with us, and then finish with an outro. Mike, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right. Spoiler-free review. Let's hear it.
For this one, I would rate this one a 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Like I really enjoyed the animation.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting was great. But it felt like this. Like it's only an hour, 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it seems very, very fast paced. So you can't really cling on to some of the characters, some of the messaging of it. Which is interesting because obviously since it's animated, it's usually geared toward children. So like the messages are usually blatant, right in your face. So it's not too hard to understand. But it was just like the character development seemed done, which is weird to say in an animated movie, a kid movie. But yeah, it was just like so fast paced, and it seemed like I needed more time to get comfortable with these characters. So I'd have to say a 3. Yeah, it was good, but it left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, actually, I completely agree. So we also don't share our numbers beforehand. I give it a 3 out of 5. It was an entertaining movie. I did think the animation was good. I even enjoyed some of like the plot devices they used. Like they had some good examples of like planting something that came back. But it was just one of those where I'm like, okay, your moral here is a little light. Other parts, again, all just a little bit light here and there. So entertaining, but there are better, harder hitting animated movies that have a better message and really portray what they're trying to say a little better. Again, though, entertaining. And I would say if you need a family movie to watch, you have young kids with you, or you're just trying to have like a relaxing evening that you don't really want to think and be like, hey, I'm going to laugh a few times here. It's a funny movie. I laughed out loud a few parts, but it's just not that deep. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Before we get into our plot summary and play-by-play, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. Me. Some of you may know I'm a real estate agent. We are the Just Be team. We are licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. If you are interested in buying or selling a home in this area, please hit us up at any point in time, and I can give you the play-by-play or anyone else on my team. Furthermore, a great thing about us, we work with a brokerage of Compass. A great thing about us is we have agents all over the country. So even if you don't live in D.C., Maryland, or Virginia, but still want a highly qualified real estate professional to help you, please hit me up and then I'll make sure I can find you one. All right. Ready, Mike?
Yep.
All right. Give us a plot summary.
Okay. To avoid prison, a gang of notorious animal criminals pretend to seek being rehabilitated, only for their leader to secretly find that he genuinely wants to change his ways. God, that sounds so complicated.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I get it. Yeah.
It was like, and this is a kids movie. Okay, first of all, you don't use notorious.
Yeah, notorious gang leader. There's a lot of blood on this wolf's hands.
I just see a kid. Mom, what's notorious? and criminal.
And criminal. I get it. What do they do? They're bad guys.
Rehabilitated? Mom.
Come on, help me
out. This is a pop
here.
quiz. What's going on?
Thank you very much. So to start the movie, we open with a little bit of narration between Wolf and Snake. And those are two of the anthropomorphic animals, anthropomorphic for the children out there, being animals with human-like qualities, walk on 2 feet, and seem very human.
Oh, I thought that was Animorphs.
Kind of. Very similar. But they're in a diner, and they're just talking, and Wolf is like, what do you mean you don't like your birthday? Mm-hmm. And there's all of this back and forth about it. Yeah. And we really just kind of get a feel for the personality of these two characters. Yes. And Wolf is a smooth talker. Mm-hmm. He's a very personable, likable guy. Yeah. And Snake is his best friend, a little more standoffish, but they still have some good chemistry. From there, and this very much threw me off, they stand up and everyone is terrified of them in this diner.
So, not to cut you off, but it's just like, what was interesting, it was like, it paralleled the scene from Pulp Fiction in the diner with like who was it? It was Samuel Jackson, John Travolta, and then Honey Bunny and the other guy.
Yeah.
And it was just like very similar. It was like, once again, kids movie. Yeah. How is that your reference?
I mean, there's that, and their movie Swingers with Vince Vaughn and Wow.
John Favreau.
John Favreau, yeah. Vince Vaughn and Wow Guy is a different movie. Yeah, wait,
but yeah, so it's like, you take a step back, like it pans out, and it was like as they're leaving, they go to try to pay, and like everybody's just terrified of it. Yeah, they're kind of like clinging to the wall as close as they can. A lady comes out of the bathroom, realizes what it is, and like goes back in.
Yeah,
they try to pay, they leave some money, and then they dip out and then walk across the street. Right,
that was very nice of them for bad guys. I'm just like they were just like, we're going to leave the money here.
They were going to rob a bank. They were going to get more money.
That's fair.
It was more performative.
Yeah, fair. Though it really threw me off in the very beginning because I was like, they're the only two animals in the opening sequence, and I'm like.
It is very confusing as to, I think that's what sucks when it goes to anthropomorphic stuff in certain worlds.
Yeah.
It was like, so what's sentient and what's not? Like, what make it make sense? You either have all the animals talk or none of them talk. You
100%.
can't pick
and that comes up later as well. But also, like, there are no other animals in this diner. Everyone is terrified of this human. And I'm like, I would be afraid too if a talking snake and a talking wolf.
You just see a wolf
in the diner. I'm like,
over a bowl of soup.
Yeah. Just laughing it up. Yeah. But yes. And then furthermore, I just say, very interesting that they're the bad guys and they're criminals, and we'll get into this in a second, but they can just go to a diner, order food, and that's fine?
I assume they walked in, someone sat them and served them.
Exactly. And it turns out they're the most notorious bad guy gang in like the whole entire world or that state right now.
I feel like that's the story. Like just 30 minutes before when they walked into the diner. I want that story.
Yeah, what did they know? Like, they were like, oh my God, just don't freak out. But like, no one called the cops on them, no one did anything. But nah, it's fine. Just, we know they're bad guys. So from there, they walk into the bank and they commit their heist. Yeah. Or I guess they're bank robbers. It's not really a heist when you just walk in and steal money. I know. But, and then we're introduced to the rest of the team. Yeah. So again, we have Wolf, who's the leader. Snake, who is his second in command, best friend.
Yeah, he's like the safecracker.
Yeah. And the best safecracker you'll ever see. Wolf is a pickpocket, smooth talker, con man. Snake is a safecracker. Then we have Tarantula,
who is the hacker.
Yep, hacker, can get into any system, and she has she has like 8 keyboards, one for each of her legs, so she can just go. It's a funny movie.
I feel like Hollywood will never get hacking right. I think Mr. Robot did it best.
Yeah,
but I'm tired of just give me 10 seconds.
Just give me 10 seconds. Like,
all right, I'm in.
Not how hacking works.
If it worked like in Swordfish, where the homeboy was getting a blowjob and just trying to hack into the FBI, I'm like, all right,
there you go. Yeah.
But it's always 10 seconds, and I'm in.
I'm done. Got it. Yes. Then we have Piranha there.
Shark first.
Oh, Shark first, yes.
He's the master of disguise.
Which was the funniest thing. Shark's my favorite character from this movie. Everything he's in is hysterical.
Craig Robinson. That's why.
And there's also that too. But you have this giant shark and they did it on purpose. He stands out and he's like, no, he's a master of disguise.
Well, that goes back to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was just like, but it works in a cartoon. It doesn't work in live action.
That's fair. So we have Shark, who's the master of disguise. He can disguise himself as anybody, whether it's a police officer, a woman at a gala, or your long-lost father. And then we have Piranha, who's their muscle, basically. And short little Piranha, and he's El Loco, as they say, and self-proclaimed, and he will just mess anybody up, fight anybody. So they go. They have the robbery. You meet all the characters. There's this really long car chase.
Yeah, because they're getting away, and then he makes it a point to go to the police station to make the chase interesting.
Yeah, he's a cocky so-and-so.
Yeah. So once again, it was just very interesting to get. That was a nice introduction to the characters.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. What did you think of all the fourth wall breaks?
I didn't mind it. I guess it was fine. It was also because he was a very charismatic character. Mm-hmm. Like your was his name Zach Morris or something like that. So it was fine. I think it doesn't work in certain movies, but this one it was okay. And I feel like they didn't do it too much. Yeah. I feel like what was it in the beginning and at the end?
In the very end.
So that's fine. Like when you constantly break it, then it's just like, I'm not in the film. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Yeah, it was. I've seen better fourth wall breaks, but at the same time,
only I also just really love Sam Rockwell. So it's just like he's just that cool dude.
Fair, yeah.
So what do we have? So they commit the heist. Yep. The getaway is this whole introduction to both the world and the character, the main five. And
still not a lot of animals at this point. Right now we have 5, and this is going on what I said earlier.
The fox, the hamster.
Well, we haven't even seen the fox and the hamster.
But I was going to say, I'm talking about as far as
general. Well, later on, every now and then you see a few more animals here and there, but for the most part, the only animals we've seen in the first 10 minutes of this movie are the bad guys. I'm like, oh, so the animals are all just bad guys. It's just a bunch of humans versus animals? I don't fully, but yes.
So they get back to their hideout, and you see like the spoils of all their heists, right? Yes. There's just a bunch of loot, like gold, the Mona Lisa. There's just cash everywhere, all their loot. And so they sit and watch TV. And the governor?
Yes, the governor. Governor Foxington.
Governor Foxington, who is a fox.
Yes.
It's Zootopia all over again. Because that begs into the question, are all foxes last name Fox? I don't want to get into it.
Obviously, they're all Foxington. Yeah.
So she's giving an address to like a press conference saying like, yeah, they stole it, but like they're has-beens, they're washed up, right? Yeah. And this like sparks something in Wolf where he's just like, we need to get back at her. We need to do something to prove that we are the best of the best. We're not falling off, anything like that.
She calls them petty and spiteful. So what
Classic
do they do?
Reverse psychology.
She's like, oh, they're petty and spiteful. So they decide to be petty and spiteful. Yeah.
So at the same time, she's trying to divert attention from the robbery to this. It was like some award.
It's the Golden Dolphin. Yeah. The award to the nicest, kindest, most giving person or animal in the entire state, because she's the governor. So I'm assuming it's staying in state, and that is Professor Marmalade, a guinea pig.
A guinea pig. Yeah. So it's just like they see. So it's like she baits them and then also gives them the perfect, MacGuffin to
yes. And Snake's favorite food is guinea pig. Yeah. So they decide, they're like, we know what we need to do. Let's go try and rob it. And for the most part, it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
All of them fulfill their roles very well.
Yeah. So they go to the event. They all disguise.
Yes. Especially Shark.
Shark creates this major distraction for them to go and steal the dolphin right before it's presented to Professor Marmalade.
Yes.
So something happens before, like during all the prep at the gala. Wolf is going through the crowd and he's pickpocketing a bunch of people. And he goes to pickpocket this older lady. And as he goes, she falls.
She's falling down the stairs.
Falls down a flight of stairs, and he catches her. And instead of just grabbing her purse and keeping it moving, he kind of does the right thing. Yeah. Picks her up and saves her. And she says to him, oh, what a good boy, or like, good job, or whatever.
She hugs him and says, oh, you're such a good boy.
Yeah. And this sparks, like, he likes that feeling because, and I guess we'll talk about it later, this idea that people have this assumption about the bad guys because of what they are. They're a snake, they're a tarantula, they're a shark, they're a wolf.
Yeah.
And they're, these very aggressive predators. So because that's what people see them as, this is what they leaned into.
Yep.
So they've never been told good job or anything like that. So that kind of sparks something in Wolf where he enjoys that feeling of being complimented, for doing a good deed.
Yeah.
And
also, he has some time to talk to the governor. There's a little bit that they talk about. And then there's this nice art installation where trash, when seen from a certain perspective, turns out to be quite beautiful.
Yes.
And even while this happening, Wolf still pickpockets the governor. So then they go from there, and they now start continuing out the heist.
Yes.
They're all going down. Slight complication, but of course they're the bad guys. Yeah, it's a heist. They get out of it. And they snatch the dolphin, and they're just about to leave. But Professor Marmalade is talking about how he enjoys doing good because of the feeling it gives him. Which, by the way, sorry for Professor Marmalade. When I first saw him, I was like, he's no good. Yeah, the first thing he does.
This is what it frustrates me about a lot, especially things geared towards children.
Yes,
because they're trying to get a message across. And it's their demographic is children.
Yeah,
it's usually ham-fisted or very blatant. It was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, what the first thing he says is, a reporter's like, oh, you're like the second nicest person right behind Mother Teresa. And then he's like, oh, well, it's not a competition, but it's really more of a tie. And I'm like, oh, okay, bad guy. I was like, oh, it's a bad guy.
That's like casting the Man in Black from the Westworld. Whenever you see him in a movie, it's like, bad guy.
Bad guy. Found it.
It's just like, we know this man's career.
Yeah.
It's like casting Ned Stark. Oh, he's going to die in this movie.
Exactly. Sean Bean. Sean Bean dies.
He doesn't know how to get to the end of the movie.
Boromir!
Marmalade gives a speech because they realize at the award show, as the bad guys are walking out, they realize that the dolphin is gone.
Yes.
And instead of panicking, like Marmalade gives a speech about doing good things for just because he enjoys it.
Yeah.
And this sparks the goodness in Wolf again. His tail starts wagging.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. No, I'm not going to cut ahead of whatever.
Yeah.
When they did the tail wagging for the other animal.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, if y'all don't got tails, make it. You know what?
Like, figure it out. Yeah.
Suspicion of disbelief. I already believe the animals talk.
Yeah.
Right. So they get caught. There's a cop. I don't know. She has a name.
Yeah.
The chief is after these bad guys.
Yeah.
They could never catch her. So she feels vindicated because of the fact that because of Wolf's slip up, they catch the bad guys and they get the dolphin back.
Oh, very funny scene when she's like walking Wolf down in handcuffs, and she's like, "Oh man, this has been my entire life's pursuit of trying to arrest you. Now that I've done it, I feel so empty inside." Nah, psych, I'm just messing with you. This is the best day of my life. Very funny. Yeah, because it was like that was her white whale. Like, no. This is amazing. I love this. I'm so happy I was able to arrest you. Yeah.
So then, as they're getting put into the police van or whatever, Wolf kind of being a sly guy that he is,
talks his way out.
Is like, well, basically trying to fight for them to get a second chance.
Yes.
And goes back to the art installation thing, how it's all about perspective.
Yep.
And so Marmalade takes on the task of rehabilitating. I said it right, gang.
Small victories.
It works. To rehabilitating these criminals, right?
The bad guys.
Basically, we only see them as this because of what they are, but what can they actually be?
Yeah.
So he has the task of making them the good guy.
There's another event that Professor Marmalade, the guinea pig, is hosting his gala where he's accepting a lot of money for donations, and he said the challenge is by that next event, all the bad guys will now be good guys.
Yeah. And so they still put them in the cop car.
Of course they do. I mean, they're still arrested for a little bit.
And this is when the rest of the bad guys are like, "What are you doing, my guy?" Because it's funny, he got out of the handcuffs, in the time that it took for him to convince them to do this.
Yeah.
And so the other bad guys went in the back of the police van. They're like, "What are you doing?" It was like, "Oh no, this is a ruse. We're gonna."
But is it a ruse, though?
And I think that's what it was. It was very interesting. You saw in his face, he was like, "No, I really want to be good." But he kind of switched it for his crew. It was like, "No, we're going to still steal it."
Yeah.
And that'll be the greatest heist of all. It was thinking that they made us change, but that's all part of this whole, this scheme.
Yes.
And so I think then
they go to Professor Marmalade's.
Professor Marmalade's, and it's like a montage of them trying to do good things.
So they go to Professor Marmalade's. They start their training. Hijinks ensue, including getting run over by cars, Snake getting eaten by a shark, and the next scene him being A-okay and fine. Shark literally swallows this snake whole because there's a push pop, right? So we see in the very beginning at the hideout, there's this battle for the push pop between Snake and Shark. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because it will happen later. So then Marmalade, trying to be good, is, all right, now Snake, give the push pop to Shark. Snake's like, no, I'm good. And he eats it. So then Shark eats him. And then, so you see.
Because, the thing with the push pop is being a good person means doing something for others regardless of, yourself. Doing something for someone outside of yourself.
Yes.
And
making a sacrifice.
Yeah, it seems that Snake cannot do this Herculean task.
Snake is the most selfish person of all of them. Of the five of them, you could argue he's the baddest bad guy.
And so, they keep failing at these tasks to be good people. And
there's a guinea pig heist.
No, so that, and then it comes to that where Marmalade says, "Well, what are you guys are good at?" And it's obviously all crime stuff.
Yeah.
But
robbery,
they mentioned heist, and he was like, "Okay, cool, let's do a heist, but a heist for good." So there's this protest outside this animal testing facility where they're testing guinea pigs. When this came to the understanding, it was just like, okay, so these are animals.
Yes.
But Professor Marmalade, who is also a guinea pig.
Yeah. Well, he's the guinea pig king. Yeah. He's the guinea pig king. But yes. So there's a cat, and the cat, of course, is just a regular animal and who can't talk or do anything. And the guinea pigs that they're rescuing, that they're doing lab tests on, also just regular guinea pigs.
Yeah. So the heist is to rescue these guinea pigs from this lab. Because it's it is a heist, but it's a heist for good. So it kind of
works out.
Yeah. So and this is where you get Shark like doing what he does as far as the master disguise. So he dresses up as one of the security guards' dads, and like they just play catch.
He strikes out. He's like, the guard's like, this is the greatest day of my life, Dad. And Shark's like, go along, son. And he like chucks the ball down.
I don't know why darkly. Me being me, it was just like I wanted it to be like at one point the guy goes, wait a minute, my dad's dead.
That would have been really
just
fun.
like Family Guy did it, where it was just like Peter pretended to be like the sheriff's wife.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes, wait a minute, I don't have a wife.
I don't have a wife.
So I really wanted that to happen, but you know, that's just me being dumb.
Yeah, it's a children's movie. Unfortunately, we can't go quite that dark.
So they get into the lab. They go to release the.
Snake is super motivated for this.
Yes,
he's
super
ready.
motivated.
He really wants to rescue these guinea pigs.
And so, like they break in and they're releasing the guinea pigs, and they're trying to figure out a way to get them out. And they leave Snake in there for like a split second, and he just devours all of the guinea pigs. And then like the alarm goes off, so now the cops are there outside of the protesters, and like now you see the bad guys, you know. Yeah.
They get Wolf is like, or Shark or Wolf is waving Snake around to get all the guinea pigs out. But there's now like 6 or 7 guinea pigs in Shark's mouth, and the door opens. So the crowd of protesters, they being like, let the guinea pigs go, now just see Shark with a bunch of guinea pigs in his mouth and Snake puking up other guinea pigs. So it went very poorly. But from there, they go back, and nothing's really working. Earlier, they tried to rescue a cat, which also went very poorly. But now Wolf gives it another try.
Yeah, because it was like, they're back at Marmalades again, and it was just like he tries to now just be more genuine, like saying, I get that you're scared and stuff like that. And the cat, you know, comes down, like comes out of the tree. Yes. And this goes, it's being recorded, and it goes viral. Yep. So Marmalade uses this as like, yes,
this is the evidence.
This is the evidence that people can change.
These bad guys have robbed millions of dollars from people, committed so many crimes, but the fact that Wolf has rescued a cat from a tree, they're now the internet sensation. Everything's phenomenal. Again, it's shallow. But that is the proof they needed. However, Marmalade has a chat with Wolf now about how, Wolf, I can see you really want to do good, but you'll have to drop your friends who don't. Snake sees this, and that starts sowing some discontent between the two. Yes. Snake's like, Wolf, you would tell me if you wanted to change or do anything. Wolf's like, yes, of course I would. And then there's even this conversation where Wolf asks Snake, do you think we ever could go good? And Snake's like, no, there's no way. People look at us, they see bad. No matter what we do, we'll always be seen as the bad guys. There's no way we can change. So Snake has accepted his lot in life and has no desire to change because of how other people see him here. Yes. Yeah. But either way, they're not internet sensations, and they go to the gala.
Yeah. So now they're still on this. We're still doing this heist.
Yes, they still want to do the heist. They're trying to still rob the Golden Dolphin.
And then because it's a kids movie, so obviously there's a musical number.
Yep, of course.
I think it's because
it's a catchy song.
Because of the fact that the guy voicing Piranha is from Hamilton.
Oh, right. That
Anthony Ramos, and obviously he was also in The Heights and stuff like that. So it's just like, he can sing, let's get him in. Yep. It's like when Taylor Swift did the movie, they got her singing something.
Yeah. I mean, any animated kids movie is going to have at least one song. Yeah. Like one, because everyone wants that hit. You know, they want that hit.
Zootopia didn't.
Zootopia had like one song. Zootopia
had Shakira. One, yeah. But it wasn't like a mainstay.
I mean, it was on the radio for a little bit at least.
But anyway, so yeah, they use this musical number as a distraction.
Yes.
Initially. So it's like they just have to, like, Wolf is standing there on stage about to present.
Well, they're dancing with each other. Yeah. All the bad guys are singing and playing instruments. Wolf is dancing with the Governor Foxington. Everyone loves them. They're applauding. They're cheering. Wolf feels very good about being a good guy again right now.
So now he doesn't so he has the button to, I guess, trigger this trap. Yeah. So they can steal the dolphin and get out of there. Yep. But he's hesitant about hitting. So the bad guys are obviously all on stage. They just perform.
And they're waiting for him.
They're like, waiting. They're like, come on.
Give us a signal. We're going to steal it.
And instead, he has a change of heart and, I guess, presents it to Marmalade or whatever. Yes. Like, just guys thanks them for, them for having faith in him.
Yep, absolutely.
And then...
The lights go out, and then there's a meteor that crashed earlier, the love meteor, because it's in the shape of a heart. And that meteor was like priceless, and like that gets stolen. So, of course, As soon as the lights come back on, so lights turn off, meteor gets stolen, lights come back on, it's gone. Everyone immediately blames the bad guys, even though they're all literally right there on stage. I'm like, guys, they can't because they're all right there on stage. Like, why would they still be there?
And then there's something shows up on screen that was like gotcha.
Oh yeah, like a little wolf animation. It looks like the wolf saying, "Gotcha, guys," and
it was as if to really solidify that we did another heist. You know. So they get arrested again, and now they're going to jail.
Yeah, which hysterical though. There's a reporter that shows up a couple times, and then the word she says when she's giving the news report on this was tonight's headline: "Change is impossible. Judge a book by its cover, and all stereotypes have now been affirmed." And you're just like, I was like, "Damn, come on!" I'm like, "Wow." So yeah, it's very much they really spell out the message in this movie. But I thought that was hysterical. But as Mike said, now they're in jail.
Yeah, it was also funny. It was like they had Snake in handcuffs. And it was just handcuffs on his neck.
like lower down.
It was like the little thing. They were just like, "Oh, all right, you got me."
Yeah. They're it's very cute. There's some cute moments for sure, and again, things are funny. Yeah.
So now like they have the whole third act argument where like,
well, before that we realized that Marmalade was the one that did it.
Oh yeah.
They're in the truck, and then Marmalade comes in to talk with them because he was supposed to be teaching them the good thing. And then evil Marmalade is just all of a sudden disheveled. Out of nowhere, he'll like, nice Marmalade, his hair's all nice, everything's great. Evil Marmalade, super disheveled, he looks crazy. And he's like, it was me, I did it.
So admitting that he was the old lady that Wolf was trying to rob in the beginning. Like he was planting these things
from the beginning.
Because of the fact that, going back to the message of the movie, where it was just like, nobody would suspect an innocent, cute guinea pig.
Yes.
But the bad guys all dead.
Yeah.
So he was utilizing them to get the meteor.
And Wolf also had a little map that he gave to the governor at this point in time and said, take everything, we don't want it anymore. And that's what tips the governor off that something is up. Because, and we'll figure out that in a second.
Yeah.
So
they're back in the police band. Once again, Marmalade comes in pretending, under the guise of like, let me just talk to them again. But mainly he just, as villains do, you gotta tell them your plan.
Yeah.
So that, they can thwart it.
People love long monologues, especially villains.
So he admits that it was all him. And then so Wolf, now he's full of emotion. He's like,
I'll kill you.
And so immediately as he's trying to attack Marmalade, the back of the van opens.
Marmalade opens the door.
Yeah. And now they kind of see, again, affirmed that they are just bad guys.
Here's this vicious wolf attacking this cute, innocent person who was trying to help him. That's what the people see.
Yes.
Not the case. But then Marmalade recovers very quickly. So the fact that Governor Foxington sees Marmalade recover so quickly, and Wolf gave her that map and said, go to this location, she's like, wait a second, something's a little funny here. Yeah.
And so, so she goes to their hideout, finds their stash, and kind of gets sees that Wolf was trying to change.
Yes.
Or at least Wolf was, maybe not the rest of them. So then at the prison, sorry.
Oh, we said they get in a big fight in prison.
Yeah, so it's like now, like the bad guys outside of Wolf are like, well, what are you doing? Like we're just bad guys. That's who we are. Why are you trying to change?
Yeah.
And there's this fight back and forth. And as they're fighting, going to their cells, a masked Avenger, if you will, comes to rescue them. So she takes out all the guards.
Yeah. They realize it's the Crimson Paw.
It's the Crimson Paw, which was another criminal that was mentioned earlier who was like never caught. Another person that was trying to go after the Golden Dolphin because, we didn't mention that. But when they decided to steal the Golden Dolphin originally, it was because of the fact that no criminal's ever done it.
Yeah.
They've always been caught.
Everyone's been caught.
Except for the Crimson Paw, but that person was never found.
Yeah, then they were never found again.
So they realized that this is the Crimson Paw. The Crimson Paw unmasked themselves, and it is the Governor
Foxington. Did you see that coming?
A little bit.
I did not.
A little bit, only because of the fact that she mentioned how similar both the
wolves and
foxes were. Like there's just subtle hints. It was just like, don't let this suit fool you.
Yeah, I was like, Marmalade's evil. I did not see, and it was a great plant, and that was something I liked.
I guess it's because of the fact that they mentioned the Crimson Paw several times. So it's just like
someone's
once again, no matter how juvenile the storytelling, they are planting. Like you said, they did well with planting like certain bits of information and
that would come back later.
Yeah.
And that was something I did appreciate with the movie. Yeah, so they planted, hey, there's the Crimson Paw in this universe. They've never been caught. And enough happened that I actually like completely forgot about the Crimson Paw's existence. So
also, it's so fast.
Exactly, and it's very fast. It's when the Crimson Paw, aka the governor, comes out and she beats the crap out of everybody.
So that's one thing I didn't like. It was like the Moon Knight, where it was just like the action about to happen. They cut the black, and they're just like they've already escaped. He was like, well, how?
Yeah.
So
well, hey, well, she like we all saw her beat the crap out of
but
there's like 10 people.
The amount of guards that were like,
and then like 100 guards come in, cut to black, and then they're driving away, and then the prison blows up. And I was like, did she just kill all of those people
for these five?
She's the governor, and she just killed like 150 prison guards, and who knows who else is in this prison for these 5 people? That prison blew up. Well, yeah. So now on the boat leaving the prison.
Yeah, so now they get back to land because it was. I guess the prison was on an island.
Yeah, as all good prisons are on islands,
as they are.
Yeah.
And so they get back to land, and like Wolf is like, "Oh, we need to stop Marmalade. We need to do this." But the rest of the team is like, "No, like you changed. Like, what do you?
We're out.
We're out." And so like Wolf goes with the governor, the rest of the bad guys kind of do their own thing.
Yeah. And that was a great thing, talking to the birthdays in the beginning, with Snake being like, why I hate my birthday is because I was a snake. So no one would ever come to my birthday. And even that would never hurt me as much as my best friend stabbing me in the back. So, and I was like, okay, here's a good iteration of birthdays, talking about that right now, and then Snake throwing it in Wolf's face later.
I didn't understand the reasoning behind it, but it was like, once again, it was nice. I guess they brought it back. It wasn't just, it's your Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. I mean, again, kids movie, they can only get so deep. But at the same time, I was like, okay, that's nice.
So now the gang is split because it's the third act. And Marmalade, because he, once again, is a villain, so he told him his plan. He's going to use the meteorite to mind control the guinea pigs that they helped rescue in the prior heist to steal all the money that was made during the charity event. Yeah, during the charity gala. Because the promise was during the event that as soon as this event is over, there's going to be armored, money trucks to get this money to wherever you need it. So
schools,
it's like the
hospitals, orphanages, everywhere.
So he's going to use the guinea pigs to hijack those trucks because it was like almost $1 billion. Yeah. And he'll, that was like his great heist.
Yeah. Which also, I mean, Marmalade's a smart dude. Yeah. Like, he was just like, hey, we don't need to free these thousands of guinea pigs from here so that way I can utilize them later. That was control. Cool. All right, Marmalade's, he's a smart guy.
So Wolf and Foxington go to stop Marmalade at his lab or whatever, and they get caught.
Yes.
And you find out that Snake has joined Marmalade, so that's how they knew that Wolf was going to be there.
Well, before that, so when they split off, Fox and Wolf go to Fox's old hideout. They get all equipped up, and it's like, yeah, we're doing this. Then the other 4 bad guys go to their hideout, and they see everything's gone because Governor Foxington went in, cleared everything out, and gave it away. Everything's gone except for one push pop. And Shark is crying. He's hungry. So Snake decides, who loves push pops as well and who has never given Shark a push pop this entire movie, decides, you know what, Shark, no, here. You can have this push pop. And everyone's like, whoa, you just do something good.
Yeah, and it was just like, that's that trigger. It was just like, well, if Snake can change, maybe so can we.
And then everyone starts shaking random things.
Yeah, and then it goes to their tail wagging, but you got a tarantula.
Her thorax.
It's just like you got all these animals that don't have tails trying to tail wag.
Yeah, Shark and Piranha, their fins. They're waving on the back. And then Snake, like the end of his tail starts shaking. But it ends with Snake being like, I'm not a good guy, never. And he gets on the elevator.
So he leaves, but then the other 3 are like, maybe we can be good.
Yes.
And so, like, cut back to Marmalade's lab where now the Crimson Paw and Wolf are trapped because Snake knew that Wolf would come. So
Snake double-crossed him.
They double-crossed him. So, as all villains do, they leave them tied up to some, Rube Goldberg contraption.
Yeah. It was like this giant, pit of death spikes and razors as they were getting slowly lowered into it. And then Snake's like, let me try on the helmet. And then they walk away together. And then the gang shows up because, as they do, which Piranha has gas problems, so you see this gas coming. Yeah, but I laughed. I'm just very mature, I suppose. When Governor Fox is like, "Oh my gosh, there's poison gas too," and Wolf's like, "Wait a second, no, it's fine." And then the other 3 come and rescue them.
So now you have the bad guys and the Crimson Paw minus Snake trying to stop the stop the robbery of these trucks. Because now you see Snake controlling the guinea pigs to steal the truck. So like they'll get to where they need to be and then turn back around.
Yeah.
And so they have this technology randomly. Once again, kids movie.
Yep.
Where they can break the transmission or something like that.
It's the GPS on the trucks automatically steers the trucks back to where they need to go, which, again, this made no sense, kids movie. What they need to do is have this really epic car chase, and like the guys go off.
Yeah, so it's just like they stop the trucks from they block the signal from the GPS.
Yep.
So that the trucks go back to where they need to be.
Yep.
And now, but they realize they still need to get the meteorite.
Yes.
To destroy it.
Yeah, because even though the money's all back delivered, the guinea pigs are still whatever. Yeah.
And so like they get the meteorite and so they go back to the police because they realize if they return it, they can clear their name.
Yes.
But then they're literally a block away from the police station. The chief is like shocked because she never thought of them as anything but bad guys.
Yep.
But they stop because they are down one member.
Yeah, they don't have
Snake.
Yeah.
And so like they risk their actual freedom to go save Snake. So they
don't even know they're saving Snake at the time. They just want to
get him back. When I say save Snake, I mean to get Snake back.
Yeah, of course, it turns out that they all double cross each other and everything. And
it's a heist
double cross. Yeah,
it's Mr. Pink. It's Mr. White.
Yeah. Well, because now like Snake and Marmalade are like at each other's throats, being like, "What do you mean they got this out? You're not good for anything." So now they're fighting normally, and then it winds up with Snake being. The other bad guys show up. They have a trade, the meteorite, to rescue Snake. He still chucks Snake out the helicopter, but they still have the meteorite. And then now the guinea pig has the meteorite. There's this big car thing. They rescue Snake.
Yeah.
And then the car explodes. They have each other. But then, what happens next?
So they get to... So they land, the cops come and to arrest them again, right? And then instead of like fighting or anything like that, they give each other a look that says, "All right, we've been running our whole lives."
Yes, that's what it was.
Finally,
turn ourselves in.
Because
Foxington was going to try to turn herself in, and the bad guys are like, "Nope, you're not going to take the fall. You don't need to do this. We're going to turn ourselves in." Like the helicopter gets messed up, so then that's why the hamster or guinea pig Marmalade lands right next to the cops as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the part I was just like, why? What?
Yeah, like he has the meteorite.
Yes,
and he once again being just a quick thinker. So like they turn themselves in to protect the governor.
Yep.
And Marmalade, the helicopter lands because it was malfunctioning, and he just quick thinking says, "I got this back from them."
Yep. I have the meteorite. I'll keep it safe in my lab because the meteorite also has like unlimited power for energy resources. So I'll keep it here. And then there's a clap. And then we see it's not a meteorite. It's actually a lamp that was made. And this was put earlier.
Yeah, it was like a replica of the meteorite, but it was like used as a lamp.
Yeah.
And then we find that when Snake went to join Marmalade,
it was a triple cross.
So like he swapped out the real meteorite for the lamp, and so that's what they were chasing throughout the city.
Yep.
And he blew up the meteorite because of the fact that it's too powerful. It's too powerful.
Yeah.
So Marmalade, distraught, but oh well. And then so the bad guys are being hauled off in the police van again. They can't stay out of a police car.
Yeah.
And so Marmalade seems like he's going to get away with it, and Whoop is really upset. But he had put
the diamond
Yeah.
From a past heist that the Crimson Paw did.
Yeah. So like this diamond falls out of Marmalade's pocket and the chief recognizes it as this diamond that the Crimson Paw stole.
Yep.
So she immediately says, "Oh, you're the Crimson Paw."
You're the Crimson Paw. He goes, out of nowhere. So this was my issue, and this is why it got a little convoluted here, of like the very end of the movie is like everything just needs to fall into place perfectly. Yeah. And then even part of it. So Snake blowing up his hideout with the meteorite just to destroy the meteor. Yeah, that's a bummer to Marmalade, but his insurance money is going to pay for all of that. So he's going gonna be okay. So I was
You're thinking about this like an adult.
Yeah, that's my issue with
some child was devastated.
He's like, oh, no, some child was like, yeah, that'll teach him. His thing blew up. Everything is good now. And then the diamond falls out of Marmalade's pocket. So then, of course, no judge, jury, or trial of any sort. They're like, you're the Crimson Paw. They chuck Marmalade out of jail.
Yeah. And then so everybody goes to jail. Yep. The bad guys go to jail. Marmalade goes to jail. And 1 year later,
yes, they get let out.
They get out for good behavior.
Good behavior. Yeah.
And so it's also Snake's birthday.
Yes. Yeah.
And so like they get picked up by the
governor.
The governor. Yep. And they kind of like this is where you get the other fourth wall break and them saying like, maybe people can check.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. It's very much they kind of take a baseball bat and they're like, hey, guess what? Did you get it? Yeah. Did you get the movie? You got it. And they just whack you across the head. And then you see all this like double, triple crossing, and then Wolf telling Snake, he's like, how do you think that last push pop got in there? Yeah. As Wolf saying he was the one to make Snake turn good. So that's the movie. Sorry for the end there. It gets a lot of moving parts very quickly. Yeah, it was like
it's like playing chess in Hogwarts. Yeah. Like 6 boards.
Yeah. You're just like, how does this fit? Well, yeah, that is the movie, and then they ride off into the sunset all together. Bad guys are now the good guys. Everyone wins. I'm assuming Marmalade's still in prison. We don't see anything. I'm hoping he's in prison.
Well, I guess they're trying to like set it up for a sequel, maybe.
Are they?
Like his revenge. I don't know. They can't do one-offs anymore.
That's fair. No,
constantly started trying to either do a trilogy or some universe they're trying to build.
Fair. But yeah. So, Mike, at the end of this, is there anything that you were thinking of? Would you like to change your review? Everything's still great? Or
it's still a 3. Like I said, it was entertaining. It was funny. Mm-hmm. But like I said, the pacing was just so fast, so you couldn't really get get a hold of these characters, right? Yeah. And then, like I said, it was just like they beat you over the head with a lot of the messages in the film. They beat you over the head. Now, I did appreciate that you brought up all the stereotypes you believe are true. Like that was like a funny, like that was very funny. But yeah, no, I'll stick with the 3. Yeah. Solid movie, but and I've seen it like 3 times. So obviously I like it enough. Yeah. My first time seeing it was, I guess, yesterday. And yeah, solid movie. Again, I still stick with the 3. It's entertaining. If you're down to watching it, you got to suspend some disbelief for sure. I just not overthink it like I just did on camera. But really just be like, yep, this is a movie. It's funny. It's entertaining. It's a kid's movie, especially if you have a kid or, again, you're looking for something light and fun to watch. Great movie to do that, I'd say. But yeah, so again, we are the Meddling Kids. If you would like to reach out to us, our Twitter and our Instagram is @2meddlingkids. Our email is 2meddlingkids@gmail.com or ask.2 meddlingkidspod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We also have little shorts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube that come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're working on one for Wednesday and Friday. And yeah, we can also watch our podcast on YouTube or listen to it on Anchor, Spotify, or wherever you are. If you'd like to reach out to me personally, I'm EdHunt77 on Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to use Twitter more. I'm not that great at Twitter personally, but hey, please reach out anytime. Mike, how can they reach out to you? You can reach out to me at Days from Legendary on Instagram.
Perfect. Awesome, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this show, and we will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.